Hello brothers and sisters, I'm excited to meet with you at the beginning of week 8 and talk a little bit about what we have in store. I do want to mention that we just got feedback on our reviews from the midterm reviews from the students, and I appreciate all your comments. I know some of you enjoy the class more than others. Sometimes it's more of a challenge because of the topic or the amount of information that you have or the amount of time you have and other things that are going on in your life. And I do get that. And I do read those and try to take them into account as we move forward into the remaining weeks. So with that in mind, I want to point out that I have a lot going in my life as well, and sometimes it can be fun to share. And in this case, I think it's appropriate that on Thursday we had a new little one join our family. This is Ray Lynn. She was born at 3 o'clock in the morning, and so she's our 7th edition. We're excited to have her, and as you can see, she's excited to be here in the world. So this is just a couple minutes after she was born here in our home. So lots of fun things for us, and sleep has been at a premium the last few days. All right, so let's dive in there. Some people did ask as well. The pictures down here in the corner are of Ireland. Of course, I served my mission in Ireland, so I have a particular love for the Emerald Isles, and I think it's a fantastic place full of beautiful scenes and beautiful people, and have nothing but good memories there. There were definitely challenges as well, but I think those become warmer and fuzzier the longer time passes in between them. All right, so let's take a look at our assignments for this week. Again, if we click on the Content tab and go down to the assignment, click on Lesson 8, and it will give you an overview of everything. This week is very straightforward. Everything is due on Saturday, and the discussion posts are just like they normally are. You need to do your initial post on Tuesday. You need to respond to other students by Thursday, and then the wrapping up of the final post should be coming in by Saturday. So no surprises here. A quiz, one major assignment, the discussion posts, and in this case it's a free write at the end of the week to close it out. So let's take a little bit closer look. On the information, it starts off talking about transportation alternatives, and I want to share with you just some of my personal experiences. I grew up in a very small town initially, and there was no public transportation at all, and so we drove a vehicle everywhere, or as a young man I rode my bike everywhere, including out to work on hauling pipe or moving pipe, sprinkler pipe, and picking peas and all the kind of stuff that we would do during the summer, delivering papers. As an adult, we moved to Logan, and Logan, I was surprised to find, had some form of public transportation. They actually have a fantastic bus system. Not only that, but we purchased a home not far from the bus station itself, and so for the first 7 or 8 years of living in Logan, I used public transportation to get pretty much everywhere. We only had one vehicle, and I left that for my wife to have available, and I would go to work and go to school and pretty much do everything we needed to using the bus. And when we needed to go somewhere as a family, often we would use the bus as well, and to this day we still do, and love to have our kids do that. So it's definitely something that in some areas may happen or may be useful for you. But I want you to think about different ways that you can get around. It may be a motorcycle or bike, it may be a subway, trains, buses. It really depends on if you're in a metro or an urban area or out in the rural, out in the sticks, like many of us often are. So go through that. Some of the ideas here, like renting a car, it's not one that I've utilized, but it's something to consider and think about. You know, if you're paying $100 plus or whatever a month on car insurance for whatever reason, that could save you quite a bit each year, in addition to the maintenance costs, registration fees, and fuel that you would otherwise spend on a vehicle. But likewise, there's downsides to not owning a car and having that freedom to be able to go where you want to go when you need to get there. Likewise, they also have other car sharing plans, things that you can do. You can utilize carpools, or they have different apps that you can do to try and get places if you're trying to get home to visit family on a weekend or something. And there's a lot of different ways that we can do that. Second, we're going to learn about vehicle ownership costs and benefits. There's drawbacks to everything, and part of that is going to be actually shopping around for a car and then creating a little pamphlet, as you'll see in a minute, to help us understand some of the things that we should be doing. And finally, we want you to understand lemon laws for the state that you live in. So, for example, in the state of Utah, you can quite simply go in and just type in, so go to Google, whoa, not Google, there we go, one too many O's in there, and you could go State of Utah Lemon Law, and it would pull right up here. You can see the Consumer Protection Division, and you can click on that and take a peek. And you want to go through and understand what's allowed and what isn't allowed. I want to point out, for example, in Utah, there is no 3-day rescission. You don't have the right to return a car just because you regret it or you don't like it. So you need to understand that for the state where you live. If you have repairs and there's something wrong with them and you can't resolve it with the manager first, you can talk to the Consumer Protection Division there in Utah, and they will actually send out an investigator. But it does give you some tips on getting some different things done, and then knowing how the lemon law here in Utah works, that there is some specific requirements. It has to be purchased in the state, has to be new, under warranty, has to be a certain weight, can't be too large of a vehicle. Specific things as far as the defects that impact your ability to use that on a regular basis. It can't be because of something you did, and you have to go through a dispute or settlement procedure first. So if you've done everything, then you can go forward. So you need to know kind of what it is for your state. Take the time to find it. Again, just a few seconds on Google is usually all you need, and you will have that in no time. So give you a pretty good idea of how you can go about doing that. That is the last piece of information there that we want you to cover and understand what it is that you're looking for. All right, so for the activities themselves, the first part is fairly straightforward. You are going to look for a car and shop around for some loans for it. So first step is to decide what you're looking for. Make, model, I'd like to see year, and tell us about why. When you say write a paragraph about what you selected and how it impacted your decision, this paragraph should reflect your values and your goals and your needs. So it should be relevant to the things that you've talked about. And if it's just a fun vehicle because you value that particular thing, that's fine. But in the paragraph, we need to know that. Second step is to get at least 2 quotes for the selected vehicle. Now, when you get these quotes, what I don't want to see is I don't want to see a quote for a Honda Civic that has 10,000 miles on it and a quote for a Honda Civic that has 150,000 miles on it. If you're going to get 2 quotes, then get 2 vehicles that are at the very least similar. So a Honda Civic with 40,000 miles and a Honda Civic with 60,000 miles. Yes, there's a difference, but at least they're much more similar, and so it gives you an opportunity to actually shop around and try and understand what a good price for that is. If you want a point of reference, you could consider looking at Kelley Blue Book. There are other car websites that will also try to give you estimates on what a vehicle at a particular mileage might be worth. So I want you to tell me the quotes and give me a link or something that shows me where you got it from. The next step is you're going to shop around for a 3 or a 5-year loan. And this is something that, again, you can certainly take the time to do. When I talk to, not certainly can, you should, it's part of their assignment. When I work with clients, I always suggest to them that they get at least 3 quotes, or shop around at least 3 places when they try to get a loan. And I like to have them go look at a bank, at a local credit union, and then they can always consider something, an online option that they can try to utilize as well. Consumer Reports has a fantastic article on some things to consider when getting a loan, and when you shop around for that, I would like to know how you did it and what you found. So you can tell me that you called such and such credit union and this is what you found, or this is what they offered. So you're going to go ahead and contact at least 3 different ones, look at the different rates, payments, and the total cost of the loan. So the total cost of the loan means the end dollar value. So that means not just what you're going to pay for it, if you're going to pay $25,000 for it, but if you've got an interest rate of 2.5% on the loan, I want you to tell me how much it will cost you to own that vehicle for the full time. So if you have a 5-year loan at 2.5% on $30,000, you should tell me, hey, this total loan means I'm going to end up paying, $38,000 or whatever it is for the vehicle when it's all said and done. And there's lots of online calculators that can help you do the math on that, as far as if I have a loan at X interest rate and X number of years, and this is the principal value, how much will it cost me over the long run? And a fantastic website for that is powerpay.org by Utah State University Extension. So again, that's powerpay.org, and there are others too. All right, so after you've done that, you're going to tell me about it, summarize your findings and your decision in a paragraph. So let me know where you looked and what you decided to do. Part 2 is a lot of fun. So you're going to create a pamphlet on different car repairs and on tips, basically. Something for you, something you could share with friends or family members. And you're going to answer a few different things. You're going to have what to do when something goes wrong, where to go, what to do at a repair shop, and before paying for repairs, things to consider. So under each heading, you need at least 3 tips and include graphics. If you pulled the tips for somewhere, and unless you are a car mechanic by trade, I'm assuming that you are, you would need to source those. So tell me where they came from and include a little link so that we can get a good feel for that, and so other people that you share it with can see the value there as well. Then you're going to submit all of that to us. Again, there's a few different websites and places you can go to get this information. I love actually utilizing the resources that are available to us. Car Talk is one of my favorites to listen to as a guilty pleasure on Saturday mornings on NPR, and Car Talk has some great information on it as well. So the Click and Clack Tappert brothers have lots of different information here. You can see they've got on buying, owning, driving, selling. So you can go through here and learn about, if you're a car owner, what you can do for maintenance and some things to consider and all that kind of fun stuff. So lots of information there. Likewise, you can also get in here and find information from your local extension, among other sources. So for example, Utah State University is ours. So if I said USU extension and car maintenance, and right here it's got, oh, here's one for buying a used car. So that'll probably have some different tips and things for us as well. And you can change this for whatever location that you are. In this case, so this one, for example, is actually for Iowa State University instead of Idaho State University, but that one talks about owning a car and some different things to consider as well. So I encourage you to make use of extension as another option. And in addition to that, there are other places like Consumer Reports that have some fantastic resources that you can utilize. Now, I'm not saying you should all use these exact same ones, because then the tips will all be identical, but we want a trusted source and not something random that we just pulled off of the internet. So try to find something that would give you information that you can rely upon and utilize and use. And there's lots of different things that you can turn to try and help you with those tips. Let's see if there's any else that I really liked on here. Some different ones. Okay, yeah, those are fine. I think those give you a pretty good idea of what you can look for and utilize. And then you're going to go ahead and submit that with to me. So again, at least 3 tips and some graphics on there. It's a great opportunity to have a lot of fun, to learn some new things, and to hopefully pick up some information that you will use in the short term. The next activity, this is the post, right? So 30 points, again, follows a very straightforward standard format. We expect your initial post on Tuesday, and in this case you're going to be answering a few questions. Do you get along without a car or someone you know? How does it affect that person's life? Do you always use a seatbelt when you travel? Why or why not? And is a car just means for transportation or something else? Some cases we try to answer things in 1 sentence. It's okay if it takes 2 or even 3 to answer a particular question. So don't feel that you have to go for the award of being the most concise, but instead give us enough information that we can actually respond to it and ask good questions as well. Review the post from other students, can respond to at least 2 others. I want to see those responses by Thursday, just like we've been encouraging. And then the final responses to that discussion will conclude on Saturday as normal. Okay, so that's a great option there. Finally, to round up the week, we have a free write. So you can take the time to share the information with me. Again, you know, if you're writing for 10 minutes, honestly, if I see a 5-line paragraph, generally that does not reflect 10 minutes worth of writing uninterrupted. So take a deep breath, set a timer, have a little fun with it, and just talk about, you know, what it is that you learned, but also talk about what you've seen. You know, what is it that was of interest to you, the insights, It says be sure to include all of the following. Sometimes I only get this, a summary of concepts that you learned. I want to see this too. I want to see that you're recognizing as these things come up and put into use in the class. So I think we're going to have an awesome week. I look forward to seeing your information and your different thoughts on vehicles in this case, on the discussion boards. I want you to know that, again, I think about each and every one of you. And some of you I hear from more often than others. When you have a challenge, I'd encourage you to reach out. If you're having a technical issue, I'd encourage you to reach out to me as well. After you've reached out to IT, talk to the IT department and find out what the problem is. And please don't wait till the last minute to try and submit it, so that we're trying to deal with something that way. Try to get it in sooner rather than later, and work with them in that. I want you to know I think you're doing an awesome job. Even those students that are struggling, I understand that life can be busy and it can be hard, even with in my own personal life. So I work full time. I also have this class that I teach. I'm in a bishopric in our local ward, and I have 7 children. So I really do understand how you feel, and that it is difficult to get in there and get things done. But I still try to have all of my assignments and things graded during the time frame that's required, and I'm trying to make that effort to reach out, to respond to you in a timely manner, and to encourage you as you go throughout your week and submit the assignments as well. So I appreciate all you do. You're amazing. Your Heavenly Father loves you, and He wants you to be happy. And I know that some of the principles that we learn in this class can help you do that, because it can help you make those choices and decisions that are consistent with the values and goals that you truly have, and help you build the kingdom of God first in your home and then outside. And I will see you on the discussion boards. Have a great day.